96% of self-improvement attempts fail. But why is this? I believe this comes down to a couple main things. The first thing, and the first mistake that I see super frequently with people trying to start self-improvement, is they take on way too much, way too soon. For example, someone for their entire life has been on their phone from the second they wake up to the second they go to bed. They've been eating horrible. They've never gone to the gym in their entire life. They barely even know what business means. And then just boom, one day they start exercising for 5 hours. They work on business for 12 hours. They meditate for an hour. They journal for 5 pages. They do cold tubs. They do absolutely every single thing you can possibly imagine for self-improvement on the first day. But what do you think is going to happen to this person? Realistically, one of two things is going to happen. I would say there's probably a 90% chance the first thing would happen. The first thing being that they push super hard for a week. And then they're like, maybe I can take a break. Oh, I'll go on my phone for an hour. That hour becomes 2 hours. That 2 hours becomes 3 hours. 3 hours becomes 4 hours. Those 4 hours becomes 8 hours. 8 hours becomes 16 hours. And before they know it, the day's over. And then the next day, okay, fine, I messed up today. Next day, let's get started. 1 hour TikTok, 2 hours TikTok, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, 16 hours, 20 hours, and they just get back into the same grind. Or 10% chance that they just stick with it, but then they start tapering off a little bit, and then they're kind of just more leveled out here. So instead, what you should be doing is you should be slowly integrating. Say you're like that first guy who has never done anything productive in his entire life. Maybe now he starts keeping his life exactly like that, but he starts working out. He works out for just an hour a day, and then he does everything else. And then he does that for maybe a year. And then he starts a business. And he just keeps adding all these things incrementally, and before he knows it, 100% of his day is productive. The next big mistake that I see is keeping a lot of distractions in your life. A lot of people, when they start self-improvement, are just trying to do all the good habits, but not really focusing on getting rid of the bad habits. There's a big quote in lifting and nutrition that you can't outwork a bad diet. And I think it's exactly the same thing with just self-improvement in general, and you cannot outwork bad habits. Like if you're working super hard on business, but you're also on social media for hours and hours a day, and you're eating junk food, and you're doing all the bad habits and all the good habits, you're realistically going to kind of just like, you're going to go up, but you're going to go down at the same pace, so you're kind of just going to like go on this line and just stay the same. The third and final reason why 96% of self-improvement attempts fail is that they keep people in their life that are not helping. Some people are so afraid of getting rid of these friendships that they've had for years, or these people in their life that are not helping, and they're just holding them back, and they're desperately just trying to be that bottom of the bucket crab who's just pulling them back down. And you got to get rid of these people. I know it's hard. It's super hard to get rid of these people, especially when you've been friends with them for 5-10 years, but they're not helping you in any way. And staying friends with them is making your life consistently worse, and you just gotta move on, find new friends, start working with people and being around people who are on a similar mission to you, and the results will be fantastic. But make yourself the 4% who achieve greatness. And as always, strive for greatness.